ladies and gentlemen, to the Frying Pan Podcast. But we're going to do it again. And then we're going to do it again. This is ASMR Central. I am your host, Daniel Deftones here, and I'm here with my right-hand man.
Oh, that's me.
That's Robert Rigatoni.
I'm actually left-handed, though.
That's Robert Rigatoni. As you can tell, he's munching on some green tea Pockies. And as for myself...
Did you say Robert Rigatoni?
I did.
That's actually a fire name, though.
Robert Rigatoni would be a good, like if you own a pizza place kind of name.
Dude, I would love to be called Robert Rigatoni.
I can get it going.
I would, I'm telling you, Robert Rigatoni is, the best name we've had yet for me.
Yeah, if you ever do something, like crazy, if I just, we hang out, or, next time we're all together, whenever that happens, you do, a backflip, I'd be like, is that Robbie Rigatoni with the backflip?
Pop off with the Robbie Rigatoni.
I got you, I'll get it going.
Please do. I'm actually, I want that so bad.
It was 3 years ago, it was, Don and Donnie was the one we got going.
Oh, yeah, Donnie. Okay. I haven't been called Donnie in a minute.
No, I mean, literally, I'll just call you any variation of Bobby or Bob.
What's up, Bumble?
Well, it's in my head, it's remember when it was Pan was short for Paniel? And
yes.
Stuff like that. I always just think of that and just different variations I can, end your name with. But,
Lil Pump is Lil Pumpernickel the Third.
Lil Pumpernickel. You know, I actually saw a great picture. It was, Donald Trump with waves, and it was how Trump feels after having Waka, Lil Pump, and 50 Cent endorse him.
Did he actually?
He didn't actually have waves, but they are endorsing him, yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, well, they're rich. They don't want to get taxed, so they go for Trump, pretty much.
Okay, well, that's disappointing.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, to Waka's credit, he does have a doctorate. He does have a doctor.
He does have a doctorate, yeah.
No, but is it doctorate? I don't know why I'm
Yeah, he's got an honorary doctorate.
Okay, I was no, I didn't know that's how to pronounce it. For whatever reason in my head, the word was just that's not right.
I feel that.
But I'm just dumb. Sometimes.
But you're also cute.
Ink. But this is the Frying Pan Pop Culture Podcast. Talk about everything. Episode 103. Who'd have thunk it, right?
Well, I mean, we say that every time we start the episode. Wow, who would have thought that I would see this fucker again?
Literally, how have we not killed each other yet? And here's the fun fact. We have. We're both dead. You're listening to us in the afterlife.
Post-mortem.
Just in time for Halloween. Just to get you in the spooky spirit.
Okay. You know what? Let's jump right into some Halloween chat then. All right, real quick.
All right.
Okay.
Halloween time.
So we're not really having much of a Halloween this year, obviously, because the COVID and everything. But, it's still spooky season, We've been, we haven't really talked about it much, but, I've been getting more into horror movies, been trying to watch them more. And as you guys know, I am a self-proclaimed, baby when it comes to those.
Da baby.
Cannot... Da Bobby.
Self-proclaimed Da Bobby.
And I really never had, the tolerance for them. Always freaked me out. However, randomly, I've now figured out that I enjoy them a lot.
Horror movies are good.
Whenever there's a jump scare, I just chuckle. It's actually been super positive for me.
Good.
So I've been going through some of them and watching them, Annabelle, The Exorcist, just going through...
Bye-Bye Man.
The Bye-Bye Man. Yeah, going through them and watching them.
True classics in the horror genre.
Exactly.
But...
So that's been very enjoyable for me, because, part of the reason why I was never really, into the whole spooky season Halloween thing is just because I never liked horror in the first place. But now that I do, it's easier to feel festive. I know we're not going to be going out and trick-or-treating anymore. Well... I don't know about you, Dan, but I'm not.
I'm slightly a little too old for it, and I don't have a little one to bring around and have the excuse of I'll take the candy, I guess.
Oh, it's fantastic having a niece, because I can just be ha ha ha, let's go trick-or-treating. Time to check your candy for drugs.
You don't want those Reese's. I'll take those.
It's you know the boogeyman, right? You really gotta buy him off on Halloween with candy. So do me a favor. You take 20 pieces, put it aside, and then I'll take the rest and I'll give it to him.
I'm the boogeyman.
I'm the
Sorry,
boogeyman.
I left something out. It's my bad.
It's okay.
But I'm glad you're getting into horror movie. Well, now you gotta try Hereditary. That's my go-to horror movie.
Because that's the big one, yeah? That's like the fuck you up one.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get there. Next for me is the Netflix series. I think it's like The Haunting of Bly Mansion. Because that's supposed to be really good.
I've heard that,
and I really want to see that. But then as far as like other like Halloween-y type stuff that I've kind of been thinking about, and like I've been enjoying seeing, like people haven't really been like people have been still kind of dressing up, but they've been posting more on social media just for like that. And I've been seeing like a lot of like really cool costumes and stuff that I've been enjoying. A lot of cool cosplay, stuff like that. But really, I'm just kind of like indifferent moving forward, because like it sucks, because I'm thinking like, what are holidays going to be like with COVID? Like I'm thinking like I'm not even sure if my family's going to do Thanksgiving because of it, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So kind of been depressing.
Yeah.
But circling away from that, I do have a question for you.
Sure.
Is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
Halloween.
Why is that?
Because it takes place in Halloween Town.
I mean, but it also takes place on Christmas.
Yes, but the main premise is of Jack Skellington
Becoming Santa Claus.
But before that, he is the king of Halloween Town.
That he wants to give up to become...
Does he want to give it up? I honestly haven't watched the movie in such a long time.
I believe the plot was he, like... I think he was just bothered by, like, the notoriety that Santa got, but, like, they didn't, or something like that. I don't know. The point is, I say it's both.
Well, yeah, it's definitely both, but, like, honestly, I would lean a little more towards Christmas, just based on, like, how Christmas movies, like, go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's definitely, like, a more, like, positive, like, themed movie, I guess.
Well, it's got, like, the same setup. It's got the same setup as, like, the Tim Burton Santa Claus movies, where it's, like, something with Santa, now I'm Santa.
Tim Allen, you mean?
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton is the one that made
same guy
Before Christmas.
Same guys.
I actually like really like that movie though.
I do too.
I say both. I'll watch both, or I'll watch it both times, like a year. So I don't care. But I just thought that was an interesting debate that I saw online, because I was like, huh. You know, I feel like I just kind of watch it around both times. I never really thought about that.
You know, I mean, like, I always view it as more of a Halloween movie because it's got the spooky elements, but at the same time, you know...
See, I always felt it was more Christmassy, personally. Just because, like... I don't know why, actually. Now I think about it. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I always just, like, enjoyed watching it around Christmas time, because, like, it felt like an edgy Christmas movie. Because, like, I don't know about you, but I actually, like, kind of detest Christmas movies a little bit.
Nowadays, yeah. When I was a kid, it was like, let's watch Rudolph or whatever.
See, like, I, for some reason, like, this is before I became a sour person. Like, even when I liked Christmas, like, Christmas movies, like, threw me off so hard for some reason. Like, the Tim Allen ones I didn't like. The creepy claymation ones I didn't like. No. Like, all that stuff freaked me out. But that was, like, one of the ones that, like, I really did enjoy. So...
I have so many just, like, bored memories of... We'd always go to our parents' friend's house on Christmas Eve, and they'd, like, go play pool, get drunk in the basement, and, like, all the kids would just be upstairs watching, like, shitty old Christmas movies. But, like, they're having a good time, so we didn't get to say when we left. But when it was, like... When we were able to drive, it was, we'd stay for an hour and then just leave. And they're like, well, why don't you stay along? You guys used to. And it's like, well, we had no means of escape, Mom. There's a reason we were there.
We did not want to be here.
Yeah, well, it's like I like them, but they're all shit-paced. And they're like, oh, what do you do now? And it's like, depressed, I don't know. Like, I'm living.
I feel that. So, Halloween is coming up this week. It's about it when it comes to, like, upcoming things.
Yeah. It's a bit of a shame that the little kitty... Well, I don't know. There's probably kids somewhere that are still going around trick-or-treating,
well,
but...
it's actually still, like, a highly debated topic right now, and, like, if that should be allowed or not.
Yeah.
And, like, I definitely know there's Gotta be still trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, no, there definitely will be, but I know my parents aren't turning on the light, and
Mm,
I don't have to worry about it because kids don't trick or treat in this apartment complex. Well, they
mm,
probably do, like with families they know,
mm.
but I've lived here like almost 2 years, and I still don't know anybody,
Fair.
and I'm
So,
fine with that.
I don't know. I have actually no clue, like, where the country even stands on that. I'm
Yeah,
sure it's just as divided as everything else.
yeah, I can't really. It's hard to say we're all really brought together, and I don't think Halloween's the thing to do it.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Sadly, it's the election.
God. You know, you want to jump into some politics real quick?
We can, because it is one of the topics. I don't know if you had something in
So,
particular, or...
well, our newest Supreme Court justice was sworn in
Oh,
last night.
yeah.
And, hold on, let me pull up her name real quick.
Yeah. Well, I know what she stands for. I don't know who she is, but I've...
It's Amy Coney Barrett,
Nah.
or whatever the hell. And, here, I kind of just want to shit on her a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's tried like, she's been a part of less cases than, like, it's even required to be an actual judge.
Yep.
Like, she is so underqualified, and, like, everything that she stands for is just bullshit. And then, like, you think back, like, to when the GOP, like, denied the Obama administration from putting in another Supreme Court justice 100 days before the election.
Yeah.
And the Senate forced her in with a popular vote of 52 to 49, and not a single Democratic senator voted for her. Like, meaning, like, this is the first time since I think, like, 1805 the Supreme Court justice was voted in without a single supporter from
Both parties.
both parties, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, that's kind of massive news because that's, like, the thing is the Republican senators, even though they have the majority, they represent only a fraction of what the Democrats do.
Exactly.
So, like, it really does feel like misrepresentation at this point, especially because, like, they worked weekend hours to get this person in, but they're not even going to be meeting until after November to talk again about COVID stimulus and stuff. Like, they took a recess and a break
Yeah.
from stimulus talks, but, like, you know, they'll definitely gladly sit around to force this through. So, it, like, as a person, it just makes me very unhappy with our government. And then when we focus more on Amy Coney Barrett, like, it's bad. Her views are not good. I can't even imagine what it'd be like to be a woman and having this person get voted in because,
Yeah.
like, you're, like, the rights to your own body are literally in danger.
Yeah.
Like, more than before.
And yeah, on top of that, she's very like anti LGBT.
LGBT, yeah, she doesn't, she's not a fan of immigration. Like, it's just like everything that we've worked towards in the last 30 years, she's pretty much against.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a very sad state to be a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like there's a good amount of people that we have in like positions of power, and it's like it's crazy that they can have the views they have and still like have a place of power. Like the main one for me is like Mike Pence, who's like electroshock therapy can cure being gay,
Yeah.
and like that sounds like a mad scientist kind of way of thinking, and the fact that that is the vice president of the U.S. I don't know, doesn't seem right to me.
No, it's not. Like, it's really not. And it, I'm seeing, like, things like people are now saying, all right, let's expand the Supreme Court then. Let's bring another judge in. Like, kind of the only thing that you can hope for. Like, and then you think about it, so Trump has now appointed 3 Supreme Court justices in his term, where Obama, I think, appointed, like, 4 or so
Hmm.
in his 8 years. So, like, I don't know. It's to the point where, like, the imbalance that is getting created because of our two-party system, like, nothing's ever gonna get done at
No.
this point.
I mean, it's also the people that are in like the House and they're in Senate and all that are all just walking tombstones at this point.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're able to hold a job for like 20, 30 years is just very disappointing. Like it'd be nice if like if you were to get any government job of that nature, you would have like a 4 year limit.
Mm.
That's my IMO, but I don't know. I'm
Well,
sure I'm sure there's good people in there,
there
but
is. Of course there is. It's just like Supreme Court justices serve for life or until they decide to step down. A Supreme Court justice has never been impeached.
yeah.
There was one time, I think back in like the 1800s, that they started the impeachment process because of a justice let his Puritan beliefs or some beliefs influence his proceedings, but then the Senate acquitted him, so he never even followed through with it. So, like, the likelihood of her getting kicked out of the Supreme Court for her being incompetent is basically zero.
Yeah.
And, like, it's shitty to think that, like, literally, because of this, it shows how divided we are as a country based on our political beliefs. Like,
Mhm.
literally not a single Democratic senator voted for this person
Yeah.
to stay in. Like, it was, like, they tried everything they could have, and literally there was no, there wasn't even a chance, technically, if you think about it.
No, there wasn't. I mean, it's just how it is. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's our place to decide on how to fix the process because I don't think we have the answer for it, but it would be
No.
nice if somebody did.
Well, that's kind of like it, because, like, I just feel so bad for the women in our country and for our country moving forward that we now have to, like, deal with this person.
Yeah.
And, like, it would be one thing if she was actually a qualified judge, but, like, every other Supreme Court nominee has had at least hundreds of cases under their belt.
Yeah.
She's had, I think, like, less than 30.
Yeah, no, I read all the, like like just like the like you said, like the underqualification that she has, and it just doesn't make sense. I mean, the only way it makes sense is because she shares the same ideals as him, and it's like whatever.
It's screwed up. It's sad.
Yeah. Piggybacking off that, there was a 60-minute interview with Trump, and then I guess one came out yesterday with Biden, and I watched it yesterday. It's only like 20 minutes, but it is not good.
So, yeah, I heard that Trump couldn't even last the full 60-minute interview. I haven't been able to watch it yet.
Um,
Honestly, like, it's mostly, well, I say I haven't been able to watch it. It's more like because anytime, like, I see these interviews, like, I find myself always just getting angry without an avenue to even explore that or, like, alleviate that.
yeah.
So I'm like, I tried to avoid it a little bit.
I mean, it's for the best, to be honest. Because, like, to be honest, you already know what you're expecting, and like your expectations of how it went,
Or, yeah.
you know exactly how
Yeah.
it goes without even seeing it.
I heard he walked off early, right?
He did. Apparently it was a CNN article, so I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but I guess there was something of as the interview was ending, one of his people gave the interviewee or the interviewer like a big fucking book and was like, "Oh, this is Trump's healthcare plan," but apparently it wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
and like they just did that so it looked good on the cameras.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if that's true because it was CNN and that's very like
That
opposed to him, so it could just be like
editorialized.
yeah, propaganda. Not that I really care.
I mean, I
don't-
believe it is the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't doubt it, but the interview is depressing. She starts off the interview, she's like jokingly like, "Oh, I'm gonna ask you some hard hitting questions," and he's like, "No, don't do that. You didn't do that for Joe. You didn't do that for Joe." And it's like, motherfucker, like this is your job.
My God.
You gotta answer these.
No, don't put me on the spot.
Yeah, it was like questions of like, well, with all like the rioting and the racism going on, like how have you handled that? And he's like, that's not a question I have to answer. And it was just like it's just like with everything of like no, there was no answer to anything. It was just danced around until it was like totally ignored or swept under the rug.
Ah, great.
Yeah, it was not good. It was to be expected, but not good.
Our president.
That's our president.
We also had the final debate over the over last week. I think it was Thursday.
That was bad too.
That was actually it was pretty good, I think. I think Trump did well as like in terms of like not talking over Biden.
Yeah.
And that was because they threatened to mute mics if that was a thing. So that's why it wasn't so bad. So if you find yourself saying, "Wow, Trump was really tame this time," that is why.
Well,
It's because they were threatened to put him on the spot and mute his mic if he did.
yeah, it's like when you put a dog on a leash, they can't really
Exactly.
run around.
So this debate was more tame. We got to hear more of Joe Biden's words.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I thought Joe Biden did good. Like, we like to joke that, like, Joe Biden also isn't our favorite candidate.
Yeah, he's rather senile, but to be fair...
Well, going from this debate, like the one that I saw, I am infinitely more okay with Joe Biden leading our country than Trump.
Well, yeah.
Like, I was before already, but, like, I'm not saying I like Joe Biden now, but I enjoyed what he said. I thought he had some good words, so...
Yeah. It's just like I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Like, I can foresee the next 4 years being a lot better than the past 4. But then again, if this year's taught us anything, I'm going to have no expectations going further in life.
Dude, I am so, like, interested to see how this election turns out.
Yeah.
Are you going to go vote on the 3rd?
I already did vote.
Mail-in?
Yeah.
I missed the window for mail-in.
Oh. Well, as long as you get out there.
Yeah, I plan to, like, go as soon as the polls open, hopefully, so I don't get, like, COVID.
Yeah, right hook an old lady when she tries to cut you.
Yeah, I mean, like, we are in a blue state, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, if you live in, like, Pennsylvania or Florida, I can't tell you any other swing states, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't even know about...
Vermont, maybe?
Maine and Vermont, I have no idea.
I honestly don't know, but...
They're just kind of like, let us grow weed in our backwood and don't bother us.
Well, the point is apparently, like, there's already more people that already voted than I think, like, than the last election already.
Well, I think people realize, like, oh fuck, maybe I should have.
Well, my fear is like, what if every Trump supporter is just, like, coming out of the woodwork now and they're all voting, like...
Well, I'm sure Russia will have a say in the matter, we'll see.
Oh, gosh, yeah. My favorite part of the debate is when the moderator brought up Iranian and Russian influence on the election. And, like, Joe Biden and Trump kind of clammed up on that. They're like,
we don't know.
What do you mean? Like, us know.
It's an American election. There's no way Russia could have a say in the matter.
Why would Putin do that?
Why would Putin do that? Well, speaking, I mean, we can talk about the third party, the third candidate, the dark horse, Kanye West. Kanye West.
Dude, don't even vote for Kanye. It's not even funny. Like,
no, it's...
Oh, please.
No, but I bring it up because he went on the Joe Rogan show.
Wait,
and,
he did?
Yeah, it's not worth watching.
It's not?
I watched 2 hours of the 3 hours, and it was not worth it.
Bad?
It's... Joe didn't say a word, which, I mean, it is what it is.
Really?
Yeah, Kanye pretty much talked the whole time, but he did like the Trump thing where, like, you don't really answer any questions, you just kind of, like, say things.
Was he just, like, monologuing? Like, this is the thoughts that are coming into my brain, I'm saying them?
Well, because he's the kind of guy where, you know... Say, because I heard a good analogy, it's like, say you're at, like, a party, and someone brings up a topic, and you know a little bit about it, and you, like, give your 2 cents on it, but if anybody were to, like, ask you more about it, you just be like, well, I don't know that much about it. See, for him, he kind of, like, doubles down and just, like, keeps going. He's talking in, like, similes and metaphors that just don't make any fucking sense. He's talking about how, like, God is empowering him, and, like, you can be religious, that's all well and good. It's just the way you talk doesn't...
Just sounds a little crazy.
It just doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit anything.
Did he sound like he was manic?
I don't know anymore. I don't know.
Did they smoke weed?
They didn't smoke weed.
No!
No, the big tragedy, you know, they didn't fucking... But he was saying shit on, like, how he regrets his old music based on, like, his new ideals in air quotes.
My God.
He was like, I was rapping about disgusting things, and now through the power, like through God's lens, and oh, how did he described his thoughts as a symphony of ideas. Like he's not just saying stuff; it's like an orchestra. It's all coming together.
That's that's fucking
It's like
insane.
listening to me for the past like 2 minutes I've been talking about it. It's just like, hey man, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Like, I believe you is the thing. Like, okay, well, that's disappointing because I was really excited for that interview. I guess that's why I didn't even know it happened, probably because it was just garbage.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Cause yeah, I was like the expectations were like, oh, it'll be entertaining. I mean, Kanye West saying his shit and Joe Rogan being. I was waiting for like Joe Rogan, like Kanye West talking about
Like aliens or something.
yeah, just
or
like
DMT.
yeah, just like hey, you ever seen the video of a moose get hit by a minivan? Jamie, pull that up real quick.
Oh my God.
But no, I didn't get any of that.
I'm surprised they resumed the show so fast after what we talked about last week with their COVID announcement.
Yeah, I mean, it was like one or two crew members or something, so I imagine they were just like, take the time and then I guess we're fine.
Okay.
Or maybe they thought they had to rush to get it out. I don't know, but all in all, it just wasn't it, man.
Well, you know what? I blame the new setup that he's got in Texas. I don't like the red room one bit.
It looks like a fucking, like, can.
It looks like he's in like a bomb shelter.
Yeah, I don't know how to make of it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Joe, move back.
Yeah.
Get a new studio.
Just like, yeah, just fuck with the studio. I like the big wooden table and, like...
Felt more organic than this weird, like, stoplight red room. Like, it's just odd.
It feels like an interrogation more than an interview sometimes.
So Kanye was just being all preachy and not really saying anything, like, actually.
Yeah, the article does a good job at, like, summing it up. But that's pretty much, like, all it says. It's just, like, Kanye West talks about running for president, and then it'll just give, like, a... You know, when the moon rotates, sometimes God looks down and he says, hey, I think it's you. And I looked up and I said, hey, maybe it's me. So I knew it was my time to run.
Jesus!
Wasn't a direct quote, but like that's the kind of vibe
I
you're
believe that's a direct quote, though. Like, okay. Okay, the expectations were, like, high initially from me. But it makes sense that they were low for you, right?
I wouldn't even say low. I mean, after watching it, it's low.
Okay. I really wanted a good interview, man.
I just wanted Kanye and Joe to smoke a doobie.
I did, man. And, like, I didn't even see this in my YouTube recommended or trending, so I'm so surprised that it's even happened.
Yeah, and it was 3 hours. It was 3 hours of nothing.
3 hours and nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a waste of time, I'll be honest.
Well, speaking of a waste of time, in unfortunate news, a game that's been much anticipated for basically this entire year has been delayed yet again.
I'd say 2 years.
Well, Cyberpunk 2077? Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed yet again, this time till December 10th. And it's kind of like everyone gives CD Projekt Red, the company, like a lot of faith because they made The Witcher and they're like, nah, like they're good, like they're taking their time, they're making a good game. And I understand that. But at the same time,
yes,
I have no clue why they don't just like why they're so hell-bent on keep delaying it and delaying it and delaying it unless there was something actually not finished about it that they don't want to say. Like,
yeah, I mean, this game was supposed to come out in April this year.
Exactly. So like they're saying their most recent thing that they cited for their reasons for delay was that because they're putting out the game on old gen consoles, so Xbox One, PS4, as well as the new ones, the Series X and the PS5 and PC. So they're saying like the fact that they have to test all those copies at the same time for the same day release is what's slowing them down. Like they're saying like having to deal with that is like the reason for the delay. But like I just can't really get behind that.
You think so?
I just cause like, so what were they good? So they delayed it from April when the consoles weren't out. So what? Because they delayed it, now they have to like do this extra work for the new gen consoles as well. Now that they're coming out, or I don't know.
Yeah, like where they just didn't get a heads up, like, hey, there's new console coming out, and they're like, oh shit, Mobby.
I don't know. I'm kind of annoyed. I just release it on PC and the consoles that's good on.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like they made The Witcher, which is like arguably one of the best games
Yeah.
made. And so like hey, you're gonna have faith in them, they're gonna put out something good, but I can understand being a little, a little peeved
Oh,
wanting
I'm
it.
blatantly annoyed. Like
Yeah. I mean,
this game was supposed to save us during the quarantine. You know, like it's okay. Well, I'll let you know how it is next year, I
well
guess.
that's the thing. I'm really expecting it to be like, hey guys, so like December 10th or like February 22nd or something like that.
I know.
And I don't know. Like me personally, I don't care because my PC probably can't run it.
No, it definitely can't run it.
No, and that's life. Sometimes you don't get what you want.
Well,
But
you can always get on the PlayStation 4.
sure. I wouldn't even be I don't know if that'd be worth it, to be honest.
I mean, like, it kind of depends on like where your timeline is. Is like I probably won't get it on release anyways, personally.
But yeah, me neither. I mean, my thing was like I have a plethora of games that I'm enjoying playing at the moment,
Yeah.
so I don't want another one.
Well, I understand that, but you know me, always down to buy new games and not play them.
Hey man, it is what it is. I mean, I was gonna say it could be worse, but
I
I guess it
really,
really can't
it
because you
really
don't play
can't.
them.
I really don't play them. Like, dude, you know that website that takes like your Steam library and like totals it up
Yeah.
and like tells you like like all like everything.
Mm.
The fact that like mine's so high and I get no like next to no value out of a lot of that is just
Yeah.
insane to me.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if you ever like sold your Steam account and there's people that were like really big on achievement hunting, they'd be able to start from scratch.
I get... Yeah, you're right. They would have no saves to erase,
Yeah.
nothing.
I don't know if that's a thing, but
I don't either. I don't either. But I it's delayed again, so sorry to break the news to y'all.
yeah, I wonder, like you said, if it is like there's issues or if they're maybe like the more delays is hyping it up. I don't know.
I remember how back when Monster Hunter got delayed on the PC or whatever, like I just like my headcanon thing was they never intended to release it on PC anyways until the like their clone of it was announced on PC.
Yeah.
I think like there is an issue probably with the game or like there's some I don't know, maybe the expectations were too high and they just haven't been able to meet them because of the hoops they've had to jump through with getting the developers to work during COVID.
Yeah.
Like every like they can have an understandable excuse. Like I'm just not a fan of the constant delaying and delaying and delaying.
Yeah.
Like if I understand timelines don't work and sometimes things come up, but when these consoles were announced, I'm sure they knew that they were gonna have to do this. So like
Yeah.
they should just kind of gave us an out of reach release date anyways and just sat on the completed game.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that just came to mind also is like if this game is not good on release or like has any bugs or issues, it'll be one of the biggest letdowns like possible. So I think that could play a big part in it.
That's actually true though, because like they're it's a big shadow like to be in The
Yeah.
Witcher, you know.
And it's also like people have been anticipating. I think like this game got announced like 2016 or something.
I think this game got announced like actually back in like the early 2000s, like 2010 or something. Because I remember people like making jokes like, "Oh, how nice of CD Projekt Red to announce the game and then wait till everyone's of age to play it."
That's true, actually. Yeah, no, it's definitely been like in the making for a long time. So
I think like the announcement was just ages ago, but they never like done anything with it until I think when you're mentioning.
yeah,
I mean, I enjoy the stuff that they did with Keanu though.
yeah, and
I,
also like we've said, slap something in the Cyberpunk universe and I'll be interested.
Most definitely. But
Doesn't matter.
it's delayed again, so you won't be able to see it till now around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Not,
Yeah,
knock on
right?
wood.
I mean, to be fair though, who knows? Maybe because it gets released is pretty much as soon as my winter break starts from school, your boy might in fact, buy it and play it.
Sure.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, speaking of games a little bit actually, I was thinking about my gaming habits over the years and how they changed like by the time of year.
Yeah.
So I'm now getting to that point in the year where like I spend 90 hours modding Skyrim and then spend 30 hours playing it and then dropping it. So like I now know like that's a like in my near future is like
coming up.
time to try and beat Skyrim again, Because usually as soon as like the first snow hits, I'm playing it.
Yeah. And then you mod it and then you play a little bit and you're like,
Well,
I can only beat Macho Man Randy Savage Dragon enough times till I'm like,
yeah, exactly. So who knows? I might beat Skyrim this year. That could be a thing.
keep me posted.
Yeah. And then there was one more thing about games that I wanted to mention actually. But I think it's slipping. Oh, remember how we talked about the mom and the son suing Nintendo because of the Joy-Con thing?
Yes.
Well, I think they just did like a permanent price drop thing on Joy-Cons as well. And like that's not fixing it, but like the thing is like it's kind of like an update to the story. Like they are acknowledging that there's issues now more, and they're like trying to be like, see, like it's not as expensive, so it's not as bad.
It's not bad. I love companies when they just kind of like band-aid shit and they're like, this is good, right? And everyone's like, I mean, no, not really. And they're like, well, we'll talk again in a month or two.
Yeah, but that's that.
Yeah, that's fine. But I will say,
ooh, actually. So over last weekend when I was with Bree, one of her we went and saw a couple of her friends, and they were playing Smash Ultimate.
Did you dust them?
So let me tell you, I did a thing. I picked up the controller and I was like, oh, I haven't really played Smash since Brawl. It's been a while, and I'm like, oh, these controls feel so similar. And I clapped.
Such a little scumbag.
Dude, I clapped, and they're like, oh, the one, like, the friend that was, like, the good one whose console it was like, oh, you know how to do aerial? I'm like, yeah, it reminds me of the old games. The game's actually pretty easy.
Like, your street just carrying people across. Like, I can already do you pick Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
I can already picture you doing, like, the down air.
Yep.
Or you, like, they're just, like, has you trying to jump back, and you're like, fuck, bang! Put them in the dirt.
I think my favorite is I switched to Crom. And his down air spike, how like you can basically just run off the stage and do it and recover.
Yeah.
I fucking meteor slapped someone, like jump back up on stage, and they're like, oh wow, that was really good. And I was like, oh, was it?
You're such a little piece of shit.
It's like it's just because like I was kind of gaslit about it. They're like, oh yeah, they're really good. So I kind of didn't want to go there talking shit right away. My usual me.
I have 500 hours in Smash Ultimate, and then they're like, oh, okay. And it's like 1v1 main. The dude's like, alright, I mean, I'm pretty good though. And you just like 3-stock them, like straight carrying them around the map, and you just put the controller down, and you're like, don't ever think you're in the same level as me.
Well, my favorite is because like we played with like 4 and 5 people at a time, so like no, there was no 1v1s, but obviously it always got down to a 1v1 between like me and the other person that was good, and like every time I just remember like I would like act like I don't care. Like there was a couple times that like I self-destructed on purpose. And I'm like, wow, this is actually really enjoyable for me.
Dude, see, for me, like, I'm too competitive as a person where I can't just like have fun a lot of times. Like, if like I'm playing with a bunch of people and they want to play Smash and like they want to put items on, I'm like, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
And then they pick like the fucking giant obnoxious stages, and I'm like,
yeah,
sure, we can do this one.
Thankfully, they only play with Smash Balls on, but like, man, I know what you mean. Those stages were so bad.
Yeah. Did you play the one where it's like the it's really colorful and it's just like a giant maze.
Yes.
Like there's no runoff.
Yes.
And there's like lava that one shots you, I think.
Mhm.
Dude, I remember like
Dude, I hated it so much.
I remember when Smash 4 was a thing. I remember I played with my girlfriend at the time and she
Mm.
wanted to put items on and shit and like I was just mixing her shit and I was not a good boyfriend. I was just straight like Captain Falcon like
Yeah.
spiking her like 24/7 and then like I look at her and I'm like, this is what you wanted, right?
Oh, my favorite thing was just sitting at the edge and just charging up a smash because you knew they were gonna come right at ledge and just bang.
No. Oh, that looks good on Audacity. But I know because like you watch them and they just float into it. It's like you can go anywhere else. Why are you letting me do this?
And they don't air dodge either, so you just swat the shit out of them.
Or like the one time they do, they're like, you can do that?
Best part is though, is like when I lean, like there was one time where I leaned forward and put my elbows on my thighs, right? And you know how like.
The gamer position.
But you know how when you're playing Smash, like, you can tell when you're trying because the controller gets loud?
Mm-hmm.
You just heard how loud I was playing with the controller. And, like, it felt like my skill went up by, like, at least 20%.
Dude, when you acknowledge yourself, like, hearing the buttons, because, like, when you're just, like, casually playing, you don't, but, like, when you're, like, really into it and you start hearing the buttons, you're like, oh, I'm fucking cracked. I'm about to
Literally,
shit
like,
it.
oh, I'm fucking insane. Like,
this guy.
I'm sitting there dash dancing, like, short hop arrows
Yeah.
and shit. And they're like, oh, wow, you're pretty. I'm like, oh, yeah.
And they're just, like September by Earth, Wind, Fire just playing in their head and they're just, like, jumping on the platforms. And I'm like...
Like, literally, there was one girl, I felt so bad. She was just playing Kirby, and she ran out of jumps, and I was just sitting there air juggling her for, like, literally from, like, 20% all the way up to, like, 120, just tapping her over and over and over and over.
I always, like, I feel more bad about it because, like, they don't realize, like, how much of a piece of a shit I am. So, like... I don't know if they acknowledge it because like for most people, like even when we play with like our friends group and it's like 2 people are okay and then like others are like whatever.
Yeah.
Like when you like do shit to them and like you think it's nuts and they're just kind of like, oh.
Yeah, and then they just run at you again,
Yeah.
same exact
And
way.
you do it again. You're like, maybe I'm the bad person.
Well, honestly, I kind of enjoyed hustling them a little bit. I can't even lie.
You guys want to put money on this?
Well, okay, hear me out. I get it. It was kind of a dick thing to do, and I didn't even tell Bree that I've played Ultimate before.
It's just an ego check.
Well, it was more just because I didn't want her to mention to her friends that I've played Ultimate before a decent bit. Because like, I was meeting like one of like her. Like those friends for the first time ish. Now that they're all like COVID tested and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of just wanted to see like if they were as good as she was saying before I said how good I was. And one of the guys was actually not bad. Like he like definitely stood a chance. He beat me a couple times, so like it was fine. My favorite, though, is when I was leaving, I, like, went to go shake and be like, oh, good games, right? And I was like, hey, man, if you ever want to play Melee, though, like, that's way more comfortable for me. It's been a while for that, but we should sometime. I'm gonna make that happen. And I'm just gonna literally mix the living shit out of them.
What you gotta do is you gotta get them on, like the online Melee, and then you just get Tyler.
Tyler, take him.
Yeah, and Tyler just comes in and, like, murders him, and you're like, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good at Melee, I think, but...
I want to play MK so bad against them, and I want to just mix them so bad.
Because the way you play Mortal Kombat...
It's like I play Melee.
It's so infuriating. Well, they're not the same game. They're both fighting games, but they're both... Mortal Kombat is about the combos, and you're in there, and you're like, what am I gonna do? Up, down, am I jumping? And then, like, because me and Jordan talked about this, of, like, losing to you in Mortal Kombat is so, just, like...
It's demoralizing.
It's demoralizing.
Because, like, you're sitting there practicing your combos for hours, and I'm just like, 5% from a kick.
Yeah, you're like, Iceman go high and low.
Hey, man, It's a way to win.
Hey man, if you're happy, that's fine.
But so that was me. Like I hustled the shit out of them, and I had so much fun doing it.
Hey man,
It was so much fun.
like I said, as long as you're happy, nothing else matters.
Hey, I plan to like next time be like, hey, by the way, I do have some hours in
Hey,
Ultimate.
hey, by the way, I've won 7 tournaments. I'm third in the Northeast region.
Well, I mean, like it's not like I like lied a decent amount. We only had I only had like 50 hours in Ultimate.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Not in a mean way. I wouldn't call you
Yeah.
elite, like a god gamer.
Yeah, no, like it. I just played Melee when I was a kid. Basically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so I wasn't lying.
Yeah.
It's just I knew I wasn't a noob at the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Ooh, okay. I did feel bad when I made the comment of, "Oh wow, there's a lot of characters in this game, huh?" When I did that, I was like, "Ooh, maybe I put that on too thick."
Maybe I'm trying too hard.
Yeah. I was like, this kind of just feels like I'm actually lying
You
now.
You should have been like, "Oh, Donkey Kong looks cool. I wonder what he does," and then just straight like mix him and be like, "Oh, he's a lot of fun. How's Crom?" Just like all your mates, just like, "What is this? What's the up B on this one?"
No, okay. I did play Incineroar actually though, and I acted like I never played Incineroar at all, but I fucking mixed as him.
To be fair,
He's bad.
you don't even know to. It doesn't even know, or it doesn't even look like you know what you're doing. Even if you do know what you're doing on
Yeah,
it.
that's definitely fair.
It is what it is.
But
I'm
I
glad-
had fun.
I'm glad you had fun.
I had a lot of fun doing it.
At their expense, but I'm sure they were just kind of like, "Wow, Bobby, you're really getting the hang of it."
Well, just because like I didn't want to flex beforehand. There was no reason to.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then like also I just want to see the egos of the other people.
That's fair.
You know?
No, I get you. I get you.
Beat a guy on his own console, you get to really see how he reacts. He was a champ.
Oh, what if he was a dude that just like, dude, that's fucking bullshit, and he's just like slamming GameCube controllers.
That would have been actually even better for me. I can't even lie.
Really?
I would have tried even that much harder because of it.
And then you hit him with comments like, "I don't know how I'm beating you. I don't really know what I'm even doing."
Well, okay, I did tell them though that I had like probably around 1,000 hours in Melee.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
Just
so
trashing.
I did say I played Smash before.
Hey, well, you know, speaking of a lot of hours and it transitioning to something, here's something that didn't. I'm talking about Quibi. Because Quibi is shutting down after 6 months of being up.
No,
And
not Quibi.
I want to talk about the amount of fucking ads I've gotten for Quibi, and for it to just not succeed is not surprising at all to me. I mean, alright, let's take the concept of Quibi is they wanted 5 to 10 minute like chapters and make it into series, which is like, well, they wanted it to be like for on the go, like they wanted it to be fit for like an iPhone screen. Now, I don't even think this concept like works. You know what I mean? It's you're trying too hard in an oversaturated market, really.
Yeah.
Like I respect you for trying something, and they got a lot of decently big names for it.
I mean, wasn't Disney backing them?
They had a lot of people backing them. There was like, I think it's in the article. It was like it was in the billions. I want to say like 6 billion in backing.
Dude, that's a $2 billion experiment.
Yeah, experiment. I wish I could have $2 billion experiments.
That's insane.
Yeah, but Quibi shuts down, and I did read an article. It was from Business Insider. Now, I don't know how reliable of a source this is, but what's the CEO's name? I think it's top of the article right there. It's Jeff something, right?
Yeah.
It's like Katzberg.
Katzenberg. Jeffrey Katzenberg.
Jeffrey Katzenberg. Him and then the other Meg Whitman. They got everyone, all the employees together, I guess, and played an Anna Kendrick song from the movie Trolls, which was like a song about like, hey, it gets better with time, just so he could let them all know that they were being let go.
That's insane.
And,
wait, he did that in front of 200 employees.
Yeah, now I don't know how accurate this is, but it wasn't an Onion article, and Business Insider is relatively, reputable. But I'm not gonna say that's a fact. But the thought of it alone is fucking hilarious to me.
God, that's insane.
But yeah, Quibi started in April and shut down like last week, and they were like, "Oh, it's probably because of the pandemic. People weren't traveling with their phones like it was intended to." Which, I mean, I'll give them that, but it's also just the concept is, it's trying too hard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You can literally just watch. I never understood oh, we want more content in shorter time. It's like
Watch YouTube.
Yeah, literally watch a YouTube video, and it's like if you want longer, watch a Netflix show. Like you don't need the in between because YouTube kind of fills the in between, and so does Netflix. They kind of just like
Yeah,
in
of
the
course.
middle. I don't know, man. I'm not happy for it, but I'm so glad that I will not have to see another fucking Quibi ad for one of their shitty fucking shows. There was one I'd always get where it was like, "I'm Claire, your Uber driver," and it's like, "I'm Steven, your passenger," and it's like, "Wow, you live in a nice house, Steven." He's like, "I don't. I just killed the people that live there. Now I'm gonna kill you."
Jeez.
And then she's like running away, and it's like, "You can't run, Claire. I'm a stalker." And it's like, wow, guys, this is sick. And then there's another one where it was like, "We're gonna remodel this house. Oh, there's money in the walls. Oh no, it's a drug dealer's money. Now we have to remodel the drug dealer's house." And it's like, sure, man. Just go to the sci-fi fucking cyberpunk shit if you want it. Like, just go. Don't try too hard, man.
So that's a flop. That's an unfortunate flop, actually.
It's a $2 billion flop, to be fair.
That's insane.
And
that's a lot of money to waste.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad for the 200 people that were working and let go, but I mean, I imagine they're getting a bit of like a severance package and shit of that nature. So hopefully they land on their feet.
Hopefully.
But yeah, man, Quibi just it wasn't gonna work.
Back to Dr. Squatch ads.
Yeah, well, it's like remember how Peacock was gonna be like a pay service?
It is.
I think it's free now.
Well, they have so it's free with ads. So you're just watching TV.
Yeah.
Like it's free with ads, and like you get as much ads as you would if you were watching the show live on TV. So it's basically like watching live TV, but you get to select what episode and what show.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like the Netflix experience or Hulu where like, because you're paying for it, you don't get the ads, which is fine. Like, I think it's cool, but I'm pissed because Peacock took Parks and fucking Rec.
That's true.
Off of Netflix.
That's true. Well, I mean, I guess you can watch it with the ads if you want.
I don't want to watch it with the ads.
Okay, be a little stubborn little baby man, though.
Okay, tell me this, okay? You do realize like how much it matters when you're binge watching a show to have episodes usually go from 20 minutes for you to finish it to go to 30 just because they're adding in 10 minutes of ads?
Yeah, no, I know.
Like, it really adds up. Like,
it's like when remember when you were a kid and you'd watch like a SpongeBob or Timmy Neutron episode,
Yeah.
But like you'd watch the specials and they're like an hour long, but in reality they're like 35 minutes because it's 25 minutes of ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that shit.
Well, it sucks though because like, okay, my routine when Parks and Rec was on Netflix is I'd like watch about an hour of it or 3 episodes before bed. But now if I were to go watch it on Peacock, unless I pay for it, I get only 2 episodes now.
Yeah.
Just because like that hour is now worth 2 episodes.
Which in reality, it's a very first world problem.
It is. It's
but
just
it's still inconvenient.
Well, yeah, but like I don't want to buy another streaming service, man. So like, time to hunt down someone who's a sucker to pay for Peacock.
Exactly.
Because I'm not gonna do it because it's not like there's stuff that's not on Netflix I'm still watching. So
Exactly.
I don't know.
Do you pay for your Netflix?
I don't want to talk about it.
Do you pay for your Hulu?
Don't want to talk about it.
Oh my goodness, you're entitled.
I'm not entitled. I'm not.
No. You're just complaining about the services.
I pay for my own Amazon.
Oh, the
video,
services
okay?
you pay for.
I pay for Amazon Video.
Yeah, it's.
And I only don't pay for Netflix because it was like, hey, we want to watch Netflix. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So like, I'll just add my own,
In my eyes, Netflix has always been free.
Literally. Because like, it was just like, oh, we would like that now. And I'm like, okay, so I don't have to pay for it.
Okay, so I'll hop on it. And they're like, oh, there's something on Hulu I want to watch. I'm like, okay, I guess there's something on Hulu I want to watch now.
Exactly. Well, like, I paid for Netflix initially until it was like, oh, we want to watch stuff now, too. And instead of me being like, oh, I have one that you can just hop on. I was like, oh, I'll help you make an account.
Yeah.
So, you know, live and learn, you know?
Yeah, exactly. My last little topic of the day is the moon is wet.
The moon is wet. So, we knew that the moon had water for a while now.
We did.
It was centered around the south pole of it. But the thing is, we found water on the light side of the moon this time. So, like, what's interesting about this is like, even though we already knew water was on the moon, so it's not like groundbreaking in that aspect. It's just there's a lot more than we thought, and it confirmed it in more areas.
Yeah.
Why that's a big deal, though, is because getting water into space is, like, really expensive.
Yeah.
And it's actually a lot harder than it, like, sounds.
Seems to be, yeah.
So the fact that water is found on the moon means that, like, for potential space missions and for astronauts, like, there's potential for them to get their water from the moon and refine it in space, and that makes that cuts down like a big part of the cost associated with space travel and space enterprising and everything.
Yeah.
So that's some really big news, because that's, I guess, like, helps us get more out into space, like finding water, like, actually on our moon, out in space already.
Yeah.
Usable water, that is.
Yeah.
And the best part about this is like, it also goes to show that there could be planets that have more water out than we anticipated. It's just we haven't found it yet, which we already kind of thought. But, like, the fact that our moon was one of them that's always been, I guess, not within our reach, but, like, still always been our focus, at least over the last 30 years or so. At least since we've been to the moon, it's been way more attainable than, say, Mars.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd argue it is in reach if you compare it to, like, the other planets that we can't get to.
Yeah. So, more water was found on the moon, which is fucking dope, because space travel could get cheaper, and that could mean more optimized space travel. I don't know.
Maybe we're living on the moon.
Well, at the very least, you could be stopping there to fill up on water before you go to Mars.
True. Or maybe, alright, here's the play, you ready? Moon doesn't have oxygen, right? We can't breathe on the moon.
Yes.
Here's the thing. We begin production on a giant glass bubble around the moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And put a bunch of oxygen in there.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we have water, we make more water. And we can inhabit the moon. And then we realize it's a bad idea. Because we're digging into the moon, right?
Okay.
And then we're like, oh, what's on the dark side of the moon? And we go and check it out, right? Aliens.
Understood, man. That's insane.
All right, so we find the aliens, right?
Uh-huh.
But now we're not like, we dab them up. We hit them with, we give them the fist bumps.
What's up, bro?
We're like, what's up, dog? And like, and then we're like, I don't know what that means. It's like, you dumb it down for us because they're probably smarter than we are.
All right, yeah, sorry about that.
We'd actually know, you never know. Maybe we're smarter than them. I mean, if we were able to find water before they could, it just kind of is what it is. I mean, we didn't hear about that from them, but...
Okay.
It's all hypothetical, of course. Actually, I mean, not even hypothetical. It's probably happened in like 30, 40 years. Maybe I'm dead. Maybe I'll be alive. Maybe I'll be up there. Maybe I'll see a couple of things. Fucking dab them up and be like, what's up? And then we just fucking mix shit and we...
Okay.
Throw a real rage around the moon. I don't remember the initial point. I just remember...
Water around the moon.
No, just like a thought in my head was like, what if we try and inhabit the moon? And then my thought was like, well, there's no oxygen up there, Dan. I'm like, well, what if we just get a giant glass ball and trap the moon in there?
You know, I always thought as a kid, like, getting oxygen on a planet was, like, as simple as, like, oh, well, let's just plant a shit ton of trees there. And then, like, eventually, right?
It's close. The sun will see it.
Apparently, it's like, well, not apparently, but, like an ozone layer has to get formed so, like, gas doesn't leak out. Then, like, the air has to become so oxygen rich that, like, you're not breathing in as much toxic. Like, there's a lot more to terraforming a planet to making it as livable as Earth than, like, as simple as, like, let's just plant a bunch of trees on Mars.
I also like that you started that sentence with, like, hey, believe it or not, trees can't grow on the moon. It's like, huh. How about that, eh?
Hey, maybe eventually.
Hey, we found water. We can find anything.
Yeah, who knows, man?
Honestly, it's just like it's the same like whenever we talk about space, where it's like we don't know what the fuck goes on up there. So like literally anything could happen. Like maybe, like I said, maybe we find aliens. Maybe we get a little Independence Day action, or maybe like we're just best buddies.
I would like the timeline where aliens just come to Earth and they're just actual homies. They're like, oh, wait, you don't have this technology
Yeah,
yet? Fuck, don't mind. Like, I got you. Like,
yeah.
here,
I'll bring some back. Come on. You want to come with?
you guys are still using gasoline?
Yeah.
What? Wait, fossil fuels? And they're like, here's a super powered solar panel.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a cool timeline, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just like total homies.
Yeah, like they link up with scientists and they're like, you only have this much on your periodic table. Oh, dude.
Oh, come on, guys.
How many things are on the periodic table? It's like 252, right?
Is it 252? I thought it was like 188.
It could be. I thought it was high.
How many elements
are on the periodic table?
There's 118.
118. So like I was right if you just ignored my answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, that just made sense. I'm gonna use that one. I like that.
I like that you were just like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I do, because the rhetoric was so good on that. Like, I was just like, oh, you're right. And I didn't realize how oxymoronic that was, like, at all.
Wow, Dan, you're on one, dog. Good
Yeah,
job.
you're correct, bro. You're right.
Thank
You were
you.
right if I did ignore your answer.
I don't know why I thought so. Because I don't, dude. Whenever I
That
took,
was good.
Thank you. Whenever I took like science classes and it was like, here's a periodic table, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. I don't care. They're like, well, the ones that got me was like in middle school. They're like, fill in which element goes here, and then to me, never wanting to go in any career involving science is like, get it away from me.
I feel that. I remember we had to, like, memorize, like, the first 30 elements or something like that. And I just hated it, because, like, why was potassium K? Now I know potassium's K because of that experience, but, like, is that relevant to me?
I don't care.
Not really.
It's like, just math classes. Like, I took my basic math. I can do my PEMDAS pretty damn well.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm always going to be in an opportunity where I can just use a calculator. So,
Fair.
doesn't matter.
Well,
Calc, never took it. Never will.
never will.
Never will.
Never will.
Ask me how my senior year statistics class went.
Not good?
Don't ask.
Don't ask.
It's fine.
Ask me about it. Don't, though.
Hey, could you, like, try asking me in a way where, like, it doesn't?
You ever taken a stats class?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, well, they really be like that, huh?
Well, you could say there's, like, a 22% chance it went well.
Did you get a 22?
I got a 22.
You got a I was like,
Let me tell you, my mom was... I didn't need... Because to graduate, you only need 3 years of math. So I was just like,
In it to
fuck
be in
it,
it.
fuck
Yeah.
it.
I feel that. Huh. It's actually hilarious.
Yeah, sorry to let you down, Mom, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, Mom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You got anything else for us? You wanna wrap? You wanna get it? You wanna get anything in before we dip ski? Dipperoo?
No, because I kind of want to save this topic for next week.
All right, I'll save it here.
Because I'd like to talk about it, actually.
All right, yeah. Well, I mean, we still can. We got time.
Well, in a sense to where it's not the end of the episode.
Oh, that's fair. I guess we are nearing the end.
Because I really enjoy this this topic. So I guess you'll have to come back next week, bitch.
Bobby had what for his topic?
What?
Do like a YouTube video. You'll be the thumbnail. You get your hand in your head, and you're like,
Just mouth completely agape, and I'm just.
yeah. I'm in the background, and I'm pointing, and I'm like, oh.